62 players bought, 29 overseas, 33 Indians, 32 cap, 29 uncapped, total spend 140.30 crores. Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. समझे कुछ समझे नहीं समझे फिर से समझा देंगे.
Have you written in triplicate?
I have written
Submitted in
triplicate.
quadruplet?
I have signed also.
Huh.
2 have signed and 2 have put angutha.
Gazetted officer का sign?
Gazetted officer I am myself, sir.
Joy, nobody will know what signed by gazetted officer. Let's come back.
What is a gazetted officer, by the way?
No.
What is?
He knows he's trying to be young. Chalo,
I have no idea, sir. I have no idea because everything I do is digital, you see. So, hello and welcome. If your internet is working, then of course you can see us right now on Cricbuzz Live. We're going to talk about the auction because it is officially wrapped up. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, of course, Joy Bhattacharjya and Harsha Bhogle. But you already know these things, don't you? You also know that 140 crores have been spent in the last, 5.5 hours?
Yeah.
5.5 hours?
5.5.
Just what I call a ordinary Sunday in the winter when sale season is on. You know, go out and drop a few 100 crores here and there. But some good buys, some overpriced, some great value, and some shockers in there.
As happens
going unsold.
As happens every time. The auction dynamics after 11 auctions are still mysterious to many. But it's important when you come into the auction, it's important whether the skill you have is available in abundance, whether you're flavor of the month. A lot of people have seen you recently and so suddenly you're trending. So a lot of these things come into it.
Yeah. Also the placement, when the players come, right?
Absolutely.
And you'll be able to throw more light on this. Please tell us more because we've seen all the players and more prices they've got. But how does the lots and the draw of lots when it comes out in the lot?
So I'll give you another simple example. Like Chris Lynn would have had a very good chance of being picked up by Kolkata as well. But they couldn't afford to spend that 2 crores. They might have spent 2 crores on him because they knew that they first had to keep their purse ready for Owen Morgan, who was a higher priority.
Yeah.
So if your higher priority guy has not come out, you keep holding money. The other thing a lot of teams do is called circuit breaker prices. So they'll put down the names of say 5 fast bowlers. They'll say Sheldon Cochrane, Pat Cummins, so-and-so, Keswick Williams, 5 bowlers. And they have a price range out there. They say 4 crores is what I'm willing to play for a bowler. The first bowler that stops within this range, they'll take him. So if that guy comes and he's come and you within 4 crores this team is able to get him, they will not look further than that. Because the point is, you can't overthink it saying that if I don't take this guy, suppose he goes for 3.5, I think that guy may be slightly better, but he might go for 9.
Yeah, you can't wait, you can't risk it.
So what you do is for the non-essential positions, you have circuit breakers. And say, okay, this 4 crores, these 5 bowlers, whoever finishes before that, I'm going to close the auction.
I thought we had some level of circuit breaker for everybody.
Yeah, you do.
It wasn't for Pat Cummins today.
Yeah, no, there wasn't.
There was no circuit breaker for Pat Cummins.
Also, what happens is that, especially when owners are on the table, circuit breakers sometimes don't work because the owner says, you know, you're it's also.
The sports sponsor believes on ego buying.
Yeah, and look, it's literally the IKEA effect. If you're bid 5 times for a player, you feel a certain amount of ownership in him. And then if he says, you're just thinking to yourself, 1 more crore, come on, I can afford it. And you don't realize you've actually gone up 5-6 crores. But that's how it happens. Because once you're committed, you sort of get into it.
Yeah, also, we need to tell people that the whole process of the whole IPL process has changed. The economics of the IPL franchise has changed. Because of the new television deal, the old deal with Sony was first 900 million for 10 years, then after 1 year it became 1.6 billion for 10 years. Star's deal is 2.5 billion for 5 years.
Yeah.
So even though the share of each franchise has gone down, the gross amount each franchise gets is so much more that the 85 crores that you're allowed, you're happy to spend those because earlier what you saved contributed to your profits. Now your profits are so large anyway that you don't have to save too much on those 85, and that's why you're getting these higher prices coming up because each franchise is getting more money out of the television rights. Why are they getting more money out of the television rights? Because, ladies and gentlemen, all of you are watching. There's a lot of advertising money coming in.
That's a lot of. I mean, look at the rights fee. When you see the rights fee has gone up 4x, right?
It's 4x.
But 3.5 to 4x.
Double the money for less half the time.
For half, right? So it's gone up about that much. And also, they don't have to pay the franchise fees anymore, right? To BCCI, which they paid for the first 10
That's why
years.
they get a lesser share, though.
Yeah, they get a lesser share. They don't have to pay that. That upfront money is not going. You're getting a lot more money. And as inflation goes, obviously, your sponsorship money, your tickets money, or ticket money, all those things also go up. So therefore, you've got the money to spend. And we're happy that it's being spent on the cricketers. Extremely happy. Not as happy as the cricketers are themselves, of course. Especially these ones. These ones are the happiest at the end of today. You have Pat Cummins topping that list at 15.5 crores. Glenn Maxwell at 10.75 to Kings 11. Chris Morris at 10 crores, 8.5 for Sheldon Cottrell. The major, right?
By the way,
or sergeant? Is he major or the sergeant? What is he?
Doesn't matter, he just salutes and bowls well.
The sergeant, yeah. And then, of course, there is Nathan Coulter-Nile for 8 crores.
You know, these are, if you convert these into US dollars, approximately, what, 70 to the dollar?
Yeah.
You're talking about 2.1 million, 2.2 for Pat Cummins. Multiply that by 1.3 is what he gets in Aussie dollars.
Yep.
I mean, there will be a tax deducted source, there'll be deductions, but even if he gets 70% of that, he's buying a new house in Sydney.
No, now you're giving us, he's giving us real estate prices all over Australia. See, now you're just showing off. Now you're just showing off that you know the Australian real estate market.
No, I don't.
But poor people like us who never leave Bandra, then it is very difficult, sir, that you say like that, sir.
When somebody
Sir, but just curious.
requires you to be how much of a privileged Bombayite to say for those of us who live Bandra.
Yeah.
Bandra by itself
The
is
suburbs,
the most
sir. Suburbs, sir. Suburban region, sir.
suburban
But at
region
least
with
when
real
you-
estate that's more costly than New
You
York.
live in Gurgaon, you save
So
money
now
on
you
roads.
know. So now you know Mumbai real estate also. Both of you are part-time brokers or what? Like what's going on?
No.
So I just want to check if a
No,
thousand,
I thought you're leading up to-
1,000 square foot
Okay, I'm
two-bedroom in
not.
Sydney,
That's
sir.
it. No more flats.
In the
no
Wolla-
more. We are talking cricket.
No,
Cricket
sir, in
show,
the-
not
just
problem
last
show.
question. In the Wollongong region, if I want a two-bedroom flat with small balcony for barbecue, how much, sir, for outright purchase?
I'm letting you have your moment.
Sir, why are you not telling, sir? But anyway, I am guessing that Pat Cummins probably buy bigger than a two-bedroom house. And you know, when you have so much money, you get a lot of friends as well.
But if you look at that list, of those five, you know, we knew that at least two of them are going to be the top players. Maxwell and Cummins, everyone was sure. The question is, the only thing you will discuss out there is the quantum of price. Is it 15.5 crores? Perhaps we wouldn't have said, we would have said somewhere between 10 and 12.
Yes.
But we knew he was going that high. Maxwell is the same.
Yeah.
Of the other three, the interesting one out there, I'd say, is Chris Morris, because Chris Morris was let go by a Delhi, and you're not sure why they let go, whether it was too high a price or what it was. Sheldon Cottrell, again, we knew would be a high buy.
Yeah.
Maybe not a top three buy, but a high buy. Nathan Coulter-Nile is interesting because I think he's just at that kind of age where, you know, again, it's a question of more than one team liking that he bats a bit as well. And
He bats well, actually.
Yeah, but look at where the money has gone. The money has gone, the big money, Maxwell's a batsman, but the big money has gone to
fast bowlers.
all the fast bowlers. This is the Indian Premier League.
Yeah.
And so what is not available in India is what will get the big price.
premium,
yes.
What is not available in India? There's decent seam bowling
No,
options
we've got
now.
good fast bowlers who
Fast
already with
bowlers-
teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
One, they're with teams. Two, fast bowlers who can bat.
Yeah.
That is a very rare commodity in India. You can see Shivam Dubey is getting a gig with India at such an early stage in his career. There's Hardik Pandya, there's Shivam Dubey, there's Vijay Shankar, and so the overseas fast bowlers who can bat are a very rare
Fast
breed.
bowling all-rounder.
And so the fast bowling all-rounder will get a lot of money. Pat Cummins can bat, Coulter-Nile can bat, Chris Morris can bat. They get big money. Sheldon Cottrell, left arm swing, very few of that kind around, can take the pace off, bowl at the end, bowls the difficult overs. So you can see the quantum of money is probably too high, but it's not insane choices.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but it's not insane choices.
But it's also demand and supply, right?
It's demand and
Absolutely.
supply.
There's 8 teams, they're going for these guys, it's bound to drive the price up. Free market economy. Indian players, let's see what the Indian players did. Who were the top buys when it comes for India? Topping the list is Piyush Chawla at 6.75 crores. You've got Varun Chakravarti on the list again after.
What is common with each of these guys? They're not in the running for India at all, because if they're running for India, they wouldn't have been in the auction.
Correct.
So what they're getting is a plus. Jaydev Unadkat is the only genuine current player. Robin's still playing. I mean, I'm not being rude to him.
Yeah.
But I think Robin's dreams of playing for India
Yeah,
probably
he's
over.
playing-
He's
he's
now
probably the more, yeah.
is more realistic. So Robin is 3 crores, a very good payday for Robin, but no better payday than Piyush Chawla.
Yeah.
By the way, Varun Chakravarti, Piyush Chawla is an experienced.
Yeah. No, I'd say Varun
Effective
Chakravarti's played one
IPL.
IPL match in his life.
Yeah.
One IPL
So he
match.
wouldn't have got 8.4 crores last year.
And,
because he wouldn't play that
how many
games.
first class games?
He would have played none. I don't think he's played first class.
Nothing? No first class, right?
No, he
So
might have been in
that's
the Oak Tree office.
Yeah.
He might have been in the Oak Tree office for all that you know.
Yeah, actually, we do play cricket. We just banned it this morning, actually. This was breaking stuff. We just can't break computers. We don't have money like an IPL team. One first class game. I'm told now, in my ear, expressly by Cricpedia, our producer, that he's played one first-class game
But that's-
and one IPL game.
Yeah, look, I can understand Piyush Chawla. I still can't understand the price. Piyush Chawla is a really valuable commodity. He would
So I
have
think
been.
View Shallow let go at about 4.5 and
he was-
bought at
I
6.75.
think it was 5. I think it was
So
5.
he's probably thinking, Arey, they let me go. And now he's thinking, wow, thanks they let me go.
God,
I got another 1.5 crores because they let me
Yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Who's picked him up? Sorry, Piyush
CSK.
Chawla with CSK.
CSK.
Oh yeah, of course. MS likes him.
No, also,
Also, CSK had only 6 spinners.
Yeah.
They needed 2 more.
also, I think MS is going to turn on and tell him, and I'm not joking. MS is going to turn on and tell him, you're going to be batting at 7 and 8, and I need you to give 6, 7, 8, and give you and Judd are going to be my 2 spinning all-rounders.
Batting days are over, right?
Who's?
Piyush Chawla's batting days.
I think because, look, he can't
He
just...
carves over point, he swings over square leg, but I think his batting days
See,
are...
what they now want to use him, and KKR thought about it a lot, is that they wanted to use him as a disruptive force. Go up there, swing up front. The reason they couldn't,
Or Sunil Narine
they already had Sunil Narine. So he is useful sometimes as that kamikaze hitter going up front. See, my sense
But I think
is...
those days are behind him. I think...
Or the others thinking that maybe he's fitting into the slot that Harbhajan was fitting in, and maybe Harbhajan doesn't have the legs anymore. Maybe he's in that, because see, he's a very, the two thing both of them share is very cerebral cricketers, very smart
bowls are
cricketers.
tough overs. He can bowl up front as well. He bowls are tough overs.
He bowls in the, he can bowl in the first, he can bowl in the top 6.
Okay, let's have a look at what the teams, how the teams are stacking up at the end of today after buying the players that they bought. The Mumbai Indians, let's have a look at them first. The defending champions, of course, going into the next season. They got Chris Lynn, Kutanayal, Saurabh
bought two
Tiwari,
players,
Moshin
really.
Khan, Digvijay Deshmukh and Prince Balwant Rai Singh.
It's got to be the name of the IPL.
It really is. It's better than Jonty Sidhu as well. Jonty Sidhu came up.
Jonty Sidhu plays for Delhi.
Is playing now
Yeah,
for
he's
Delhi.
playing for Delhi.
But this is an...
I mean, nothing to beat Napoleon Einstein.
Napoleon Einstein,
Napoleon
first
Einstein.
IPL.
Yeah.
CSK first IPL.
But I still like Prince Balwant Rai Singh.
Prince Balwant Rai Singh, but they've bought 2 players. Really. Mumbai Indians were spent 5 hours there. They've bought 2 players. The others are okay.
They like
They
Saurabh
bought 2
Tiwari.
players. So they needed, they like Saurabh Tiwari, but he's not going to get too many games. They wanted an aggressive opener, top of the order that we had talked about. They got Chris Lynn at base price, very good buy. And then they wanted another fast bowler just in case something happened to Malinga, who's not getting younger. They got Nathan Coulter-Nile. The team was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good just got better, and they reinforced it. And with any luck, as you were saying, that probably both of these might not be first 11 players. Even a Chris Lynn will probably sit behind a Decock,
Yes.
and they'll give Decock a few games. Coulter-Nile may not start. You're probably going to start with Malinga
and Bolt maybe.
and Bolt maybe.
Yeah.
So all that is there, but that's what I'm saying. They were already so good. They didn't have much to do. But whatever little they needed to fix, they fixed.
Let's look at that squad again, because their strength, they don't have much of a replacement for. Their big strength comes from 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
That is the body, really.
Pollard and
Kyron
Pandyas?
Pollard and the Pandya brothers.
Three all-rounders, basically.
Right? Now, what is their backup for, say, a Krunal Pandya? Is an Anukul Roy? Not quite the same backup. Is there a backup for Hardik Pandya? No, there isn't.
Yeah.
You just change the balance of your side. Is there a backup for Kyron Pollard? Maybe then you play
Shafin.
you play a Coulter-Nile, you play a Shafin, Rutherford, you play there. But that core has to deliver. But see what else they've got. They've got, before that, they've got Surya Kumar Yadav, he's in form. They've got Rohit Sharma, he's at a couple of average IPLs, he's due a really big IPL. So I think it's a settled team. It's a team that the Mumbai Indians fans will say, we know this team.
Yeah, they're sorted. You'd say they're sorted. CSK. All right,
I'd say
CSK.
they'd still go as favourites.
Yep, for sure. Let's look at CSK and the players that they bought today. Of course, we were talking about the big buy of Piyush Chawla just a second ago. And then they've got Sam Curran, Josh Hazelwood and R. Sai Kishore. Don't know much about Sai Kishore though.
Spinner, left-arm spinner, bowled well for Tamil Nadu, but I mean, they would have seen him in the nets, they would have liked what they've seen of him. But again, this is...
He was a leading wicket taker in the SMA.
Yes, he bowled well.
Sagali, yeah.
He bowled really well. He'd bowl sort of 4 overs for 14, 4 overs for 18. They played on those kind of tracks. I think one of the pitches in Surat was like that. So there were 2 left-arm spinners, both would do that. Then Ashwin came and joined them, and then of course they had 3 spinners. So it's in the Chennai culture to play with a lot of spinners.
He loves spinners, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But MS also,
Because
I'll tell you why he loves spinners. We figured this out. If you remember this on our podcast, we spoke about that there are players who are certain kind of players, and MS Dhoni is a chess player by nature, And chess players are better with spinners.
I mean, MS likes spinners just the way Virat likes pace bowlers.
Pace bowlers.
So if you look down that squad, let's look down that squad again and look at the balance of that side, because that is at the core of every IPL team that you look at. Now, Indian batting is what you look for first. So Ambati Rayudu, Kedar Jadhav, and MS Dhoni himself. So that's 3, 4, 5 there. Kedar Jadhav has to deliver. He's had a couple of lean IPL, so Kedar Jadhav has to deliver. Then after that, you've got Dwayne Bravo. You can play Sam Curran instead, and then you get Jadeja and the others. But that core of the batting is Ambati Rayudu, Kedar Jadhav, MS Dhoni. Maybe Ravindra Jadeja has not had a great T20 career, which means they need 2 openers, both of whom are overseas openers, unless they want to play Ruturaj Gaikwad or Murli Vijay. So there they've got Shane Watson. They want Shane Watson to do well, but Faf is a big player now for them.
Yeah. See, I still believe that if Watson is fit, they'll open with Faf and Watson, because it just adds the alternatives they have, and then go with their Indian batting 3, 4, 5, then go to Bravo, then go to Jadeja, and then sort of the semi-all-rounders like Piyush and all that. Very, very spin-based lineup.
Find a way to get to 150.
Did you say CSK is a very spin-based lineup?
No, not at all. Not at all. They're fast.
I don't know. I don't know where you got that from.
I don't know.
I don't know where you got that from.
The other thing is, suppose Watson doesn't work.
The two of you sometimes carry on a conversation that I get a bit left out of it.
Don't be surprised if
With the badminton over your head.
opening day of IPL, don't be surprised if you suddenly see instead of Watson, Santner walking in to open the batting with Faf.
I'd like that.
Yeah, don't be surprised.
That's a fun thing to watch.
And of course,
Sam Curran can open
he's
as
a
well.
spin bowler. Sam Curran.
Listen, I saw Shane Watson play one T10 game. I'm sitting in a hotel room, like I spend a lot of time with little to do, and there's a T10 game going on, and Shane Watson was clobbering it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane was clobbering it. So he'll come good sometimes, but they'll stay with him. I won't be surprised. I don't think he bowls anymore. And as Dhoni said last year, me and Watson don't go to celebrate when Imran Tahir hits a wicket. Because we know he's going to come back anyway.
That's right. You got to call a taxi to run behind Imran Tahir.
So look at this as a Chennai team.
Yeah.
Find a way to get to 140, 150, which they will find a way to get to 140, 150, and then strangle and play. So they've got to make their home ground really count.
Yeah. Don't say the word. Don't say the F word. There's an F word to describe a home team where you don't lose. No, we're not going to use it.
No.
That's no.
Okay.
The
You're very
7-letter
strict
word.
sometimes, you know.
I'm very strict.
No, it's for your hair, right? For
No.
tresses.
No, don't, no!
I just said tress.
Killa, sir. You're a killer, sir.
Ah.
Killa, sir. Very
Correct.
killer.
He's been
All
castled.
right. Next team, Delhi Capitals. What has Delhi Capitals done?
Capital.
A lot.
Yes.
They did a lot today, some of which we haven't exactly understood.
Yeah.
They've got 5 foreign buys today.
Yes. Eventually, look, they started off buying Jason Roy, Alex Carey, Shimron Hetma, and you said, where are all these guys going to bat? I still think that's a headache that they're going to have.
Yeah.
Where are all these people going to bat?
Yes.
Because you have 5 quality Indian players up at the top. So within those, are you going to fit Jason Roy somewhere, Alex Carey somewhere, Shimron Hetma? You do want to play in that setup. And as we said earlier on, are we looking at a situation where Ajinkya Rahane and Shikhar Dhawan are
Both don't play together.
either one of them plays, or they are put on notice saying, you please go and deliver for us, because they've got a very good young core around them. So they'd want to play Hetmeyer. They've got to figure out how to do that. They've got Harshal Patel, who's in good form, is journeyman cricketer, been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Kimo Paul, and then they've got Chris Wokes and the others too. They've got that seam bowling support around there.
I just feel like you can't play 11 batsmen, right?
No, but see,
Somehow they
Why were you so worked up in the auction when Delhi Capitals were at it?
Because they were so here's the thing, you have to understand, right? For 10 years being with the official broadcaster, right, I obviously didn't support a team because, I think you've got to be neutral.
Yeah, we heard that.
I did. You know that. I never even answered that question. Now, of course, Delhi roots, underdog story. Delhi team never doing anything. And last year I was quite happy. We also produced a documentary. We shot it with them, etc.
Got very commercial interests. Okay, conflict of interest.
Heart interest. No, heart interest. Right?
I like the
But then after
subtleness
that-
with which you put that across.
Yeah, I liked it, but also I left it. Like that. But now when you get a little attached and you're going, boss, what is happening? How many batsmen? Right? How many do you need? That's why I get so worked up.
Let's go back to that score.
I get as worked up as Joy gets about KKR.
Well, let's
Half.
Pick the first 11 The best way to do it is pick 11.
Yes.
And see what that 11 looks like.
All right, let's
and
do it.
see what you have around that 11. The batting, you don't need to look at the batting. You don't need to look at the batting. The batting takes care of itself, whoever.
All right, great. So let's look at the bowlers. Let's look from, let's Nietzsche. Let's look.
Okay. Spin.
9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, look at spin. Ravichandran Ashwin and Akshar Patel. So you've got enough spin there. Now look at pace. You've got, they picked Stoinis, they've picked
Vokes and
Vokes,
Stoinis.
they got Rabada, they got Ishant, they got Kimo
Rabada.
Paul.
You play Vokes, you play Rabada first choice.
Yeah.
Then you play Ishant Sharma.
First, yeah.
Yes.
So you play Kagiso, Ishant. You've got to play Chris Vokes.
No, you can play Vokes or Stoinis. You can
I
play one of
think
the
they like Kimo Paul as a death bowler. The West Indies use Kimo Paul as a death
yeah.
bowler. They might have to go back to Rabada and Kimo Paul, or Rabada and Stoinis, or Rabada and Vokes as their death bowler, which means you can only play one batsman.
Yeah.
I see them playing one batsman, which is either Hetmeyer or Roy or Carey.
Yeah.
Most likely Hetmeyer is the one batsman, and then they play an all-rounder and bowlers at the end. So from that point of view, they've got bases covered.
Yeah.
It's how they handle the...
How they pick that 11.
Yeah.
I hope it's a happy problem and it's not an unhappy problem of choice. We've seen enough teams with great squads not being able to pick the correct balanced 11. So sometimes you don't have too much choice.
Also, I think having Vijay Dahiya there will be useful because
Yeah.
you know somebody who knows the Delhi surface.
Where was Vijay Dahiya from?
KKR, sir. There you go.
But he's a street smart.
Yeah, street smart cricketer knows that Delhi pitch. It's a dirty pitch, and to learn to play on that pitch is a thing by itself. Learning to bowl on that pitch.
It's a dirty city, sir. It's a dirty city, I tell
No, but
you.
you're right.
Dirty city with a dirty pitch.
Is that going to be another 140 kind of game?
So no matter what you do in Delhi, it's never going to be more than a 140, 150, 155, 160 pitch. It can't. The very surface of it, they've tried 100 times to do something different. It just doesn't work. So this year, that's the reason, that's the logic behind saying we'll pack ourselves with Indian batsmen because no
understand how to play on those
know
surfaces.
how to play on surfaces like this.
Yeah.
There's a pattern.
So there's a logic to which they've done. They go outside, okay. They suddenly want to beef up. They get a Jason Roy in and say, okay, you're in Bangalore now or you're in Mumbai now, go biff it up front. And a Jason Roy is a professional enough to go there, whack it, and if it comes off, it comes off.
See how it goes.
Bob's your uncle. Next team. Let's have a look at who's next. Do we have RCB up next? Do we have RCB? Yeah, we do have RCB up next. Let's see what they have done. RCB has bought today. Bring it up.
RCB went into the slog overs at the end, didn't they?
Aaron Finch, Chris Morris, Josh Philippe, Kane Richardson, Pawan Deshpande, Dale Steyn, Shahbaz Ahmed, and Isuru Udana.
You can see straight away, the first thing that strikes you in this team is, look, they've got Mohammad Siraj, they've got Navdeep Saini, they've got Umesh Yadav. First thing that strikes you, they're searching for a death bowler.
Yeah.
They've got Chris Morris. Will he be a death bowler? I don't know. Kane Richardson, leading wicket taker in the Big Bash. Okay, let's pick Kane Richardson. Is that enough? I don't know. Let's pick Dale Steyn. Is that going to be enough? Maybe on some tracks you want the slowish cutters of Isuru Udana, who can also tonk at the end. So you can see that they are worried about that aspect of their cricket.
Yeah.
I think Chris Morris is a decent buy in that they needed someone at that 6-7. So Chris Morris, Shivam Dubey, Washington Sundar will form that middle. So they've got their bases covered, and they'll hope that this year they'll be able to bowl well at the end.
Yeah.
And I think one small buy that could be a very good buy is Josh Philippe.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
I
exactly
don't know
what it
whether
is.
he'll be able to adapt quickly enough to Indian conditions, but at that RCB, if he bats like he bats in Australia, then he's going to be a really good buy at that price. He takes away one overseas slot, but if they get an opener who's going hell for leather at the top, then it makes it easier, as we said, for 3 and 4.
See, they anyway have just 3 overseas slots because AB takes 1, obviously.
Yes.
So in those 3, now if you just pull that up again, in those 3, who's getting them? If
you
they're
can
worried
take-
about death overs, obviously one foreign quick is taking one position.
Yeah.
Right? So you go...
You can look at the India players. Devdutt Padikkal will take 1 slot.
Will play definitely.
Then Shivam Dubey will take 1 slot. Washington Sundar takes 1. Yajuvendra Chahal takes 1. That's
Yes.
4 there.
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli is 1, 5. Most days you'd say Parthiv Patel. There's one more fast bowler you will play. Either Saini or Siraj. One more fast bowler will play.
With Umesh Yadav.
So they've got 5 or 6 there already. So they just need to play AB de Villiers. They can then say, okay, I'll play Josh Philippe as a wicket keeper and I'll play 2 fast bowlers.
Yeah.
Or they can say, no, Aaron Finch is a world-class player. I'll play Aaron Finch. Now, where do I find a wicket keeper from? That is the issue with playing Aaron Finch because Parthiv Patel will then have to keep wickets.
So, yeah, I mean,
So then they can leave out Padikkal and open with Aaron Finch. Who knows?
I like the look of this team. I like the look of
it's good. Again, it's a good squad. I
But
just hope
the
they
dangers
put it
again,
in.
every year for the last 3 years, we have liked the look of RCB. Tell me a year that
squad.
we haven't
Yes.
looked at them and said, wow, this is a decent squad.
Yeah.
These guys could this thing. So why? What is that X factor? They've again changed the management, so that could be a good sign that, okay, they've got a new professional management. They've also restructured it. It's very interesting. Most teams have a head coach. Okay, here they have a director of cricket. The Hassan is a director of cricket, and you have a head coach who's somebody different. Simon Catich is a head coach. And so what they're trying to do is say the running, the day-to-day running of a team, practices, nets, this, that, that's what a head coach is going to do. So the other guy can sort of look at it from slight bit of a distance and sort of make changes that happen. And that may not be such a bad thing, because RCB makes a lot of play them 3 matches. Okay, he's not working, sit him down.
There's a lot of knee jerk that goes on there.
So Shivam Dubey, not working.
Yeah.
Shimron Hitmaya last year. You try him, drop him, and then he never comes back and his confidence is broken. Sarfraz Khan, they've done a lot with a lot of these players and it's not worked out. So maybe what they need now is squad stability, because I think their squads have been consistently decent and this one is more than decent.
I think they've got to tell Shivam Dubey, Washington Sundar, Yajwendra Chahal, you're playing every game.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
You're playing every game. Washington Sundar was in and out last time. You play Washington every game. Doesn't matter if he has 3 bad games, because they will go in with 6 bowling options. The way they are now structured, they will go in with 6 options, because they've got Dubey batting at 6, Sundar at 7. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 will all bowl. So they're going in with 6 options, which is good for them. If they play Moeen Ali as an opener somewhere, that's another bowling option. So they've just got to tell these people, you are my Indian core. The way Hardik, Krunal, Bumrah, these are the Indian core. They've got to tell, you're the Indian core, you're playing every game.
This team will do well this year. I'm telling you.
It should do well.
Our prediction was right. They bought, well, how many players did they? We bought the least amount of players now out of all the teams.
Yeah.
We all said they'd buy 7. They bought 8 players. Right?
Not bad.
So close enough. And they are the smallest squad. And I don't think that's happened with RCB ever. So there's a smaller squad at 21.
So already
the others are all over 21.
It's a bit more decisive.
Yeah.
It's a bit more decisive.
I mean, if we see the problem sitting outside, obviously they see the problem running the team, right? And this is something that has been discussed way a lot over the past few seasons. Great squad, not translating into great performance, because, and it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy with so much choice to pick the correct 11, because what is it really? It's so objective. You pick one player over the other on one day, something can happen, you've got a backup for everyone. That combination is crazy. And from somebody who's worked with a team, he'll tell you, it's insane. You just can't,
Absolutely.
It's so tough to pick the 11.
In some ways, that's why you look at it. Dhoni does the exact reverse. Basically, he has such teams that basically ends up getting 11 fit people. He doesn't have to worry about a combination. He said, give me that.
They pick themselves.
11 fit people, come onto the field, and then I'll sort my problem out. But no, he does do that. Dhoni simplifies his problems. He knows his core. And if you see how Dhoni's teams play, they are Ironman teams. There's not much tinkering around. He'll keep playing the same 11, same 11, same 11. Somebody drops out due to injury, he'll get replaced. But otherwise, he keeps the game as simple as possible. Other teams may be complicating it too much, but this year's RCB, let's hope it's a great beginning for them, because they've done well.
They've got to tell the other 9 players that you are match winners too. Sometimes you look at RCB and you think the other 9 guys in the team are thinking it's Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers' job to win us games.
Yeah.
They've got to tell the other 9, you are match winners. On a day that AB and Virat don't get runs, we still have to win matches. And they've got to empower those other people to say, when these 2 don't win, you have to win a game for us. If they start to believe in that and not only look at AB and Virat, they'll form a good leg. They'll have a good season.
Excellent. Let's have a look at the next team that we have, Sunrisers Hyderabad. Who all did they add to their squad?
Once they change the paddle.
Once they changed the paddle to the lighter one. Earlier one they couldn't lift up, evidently. Virat Singh, Liam Garg, Mitchell Marsh, Bhavanaka Sandeep, Fabian Allen, Abdul Samad and Sanjay Yadav. Trevor Bayliss has said that Mitchell Marsh is a steal and would be at 2 crores. Great all-rounder, of course.
Yeah, and I think Mitchell Marsh is a straight swap for Shakib. That okay, if you play a second all-rounder, now we have a fast ball. We used to have a spinning all-rounder, we have a fast bowling all-rounder. But anyway, he's not going to be the first option, because your first option is likely to be Mohammad Nabi under most circumstances. Given the fact that you are never going to drop Warner and Bairstow, you probably want to play Kane Williamson, you probably want to play Rashid Khan. So I think it's great to have Mitch Marsh, but if Mitch Marsh is thinking I'm going to get a lot of games out here, maybe.
I doubt there's a very nice little buy hidden in that side. If you're playing in Delhi, you're playing in Chennai, I don't know what the Jaipur track is going to be this time, you want to play two spinners and leave out one of the frontline batsmen. you can play Nabi, you got Rashid, but you can play either Nabi or Fabian Allen.
Yeah.
Fabian Allen is a ferocious finisher.
Yeah,
He's an absolutely ferocious finisher. He may not be 4 overs all the time. He is sensational in the field.
Yeah.
So they've got that person. He might play only 3 or 4 games. Fabian Allen, he might play only 2 or 3 games. They might think, yeah, Nabi's an off spinner. We want a spinner, but you don't want an off spinner. So let's play the left arm spin as well. Let's play 2 spinners. Let's play Rashid and Fabian Allen. 2 batsmen up there, Indian bowlers. So they've given themselves that option, and he's a ferocious finisher, Fabian Allen.
Okay.
See, the other thing I want to say is, again, when we look at this and we say, oh, these teams have bought very well, these teams have, this is an average buy. The reason they're average is they're a set team. I mean, they and Mumbai were the most set teams going to the auction in many ways. And Chennai also, but Chennai had a lot of holes. But this SRH team is, again, you could pick, say, 10 out of 11, almost 11 out of 11 players from what they had already retained. And therefore, if their buys don't look as flashy as the others or as game-changing as the others, it's because their original team was very good to start with.
They've also invested in 2 young players.
Yeah.
Virat Singh and Priyam Garg. But if you look down that side again, they depend very heavily on that opening partnership, which is Warner and Bairstow.
Yes,
they had a phenomenal year. For them to do well this year, who follows them immediately in the order? Those 2 need to have a big year, and that's Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar.
Absolutely.
Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar need to have a big year, and the likes of Khalil Ahmed, now he's a proper India player.
Yeah.
He's got to stand up. I don't know how much we'll see of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. The likes of Khalil Ahmed will stand up and say, right, we are moving up this year in the IPL.
Yeah.
And then that'll make a difference. They've got Shahbaz Nadeem as a left-arm spinner anyway. I mean, I talked about Fabian Allen. They've got a pedigreed spinner in Shahbaz Nadeem. But if it comes down to the batting, under Warner and Bairstow, Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar have to have a big year.
Will be the key for them. Yeah. KKR. What's happening at KKR? Of course, KKR broke the bank today with that big purchase of Pat Cummins. 15.5 crores is what they spent for him. And the other players that they added to their squad were Ewan Morgan. Of course, that was a big one as well for them. And that was quite, so that was predictable with Baz McCullum being there, Morgan being a big fan of the modelling his captaincy actually behind Brendan McCullum, as he's publicly stated many times. Rahul Tripathi, Varun Chakravarti, Mani Maran Siddharth, Chris Green, Tom Banton, Praveen Tambe, Nikhil Nayak.
So,
Well, I'm surprised that Praveen Tambe is not at CSK.
no, but Praveen Tambe, no, that's the idea. It's KKR's desperate attempt to catch up with CSK's average age. Okay, this is
48, what a story.
So this is also a record. It is the first time that a player in the IPL squad is 10 years younger than his coach. 10 years older than his coach. A player in a team is 10 years older than his coach. Brendan McCullum, head coach, is 38 years old and Praveen Tambe is 48. He's exactly 10 years old. That record is unlikely to be broken in professional sport.
Yeah. I don't think they'll break.
Yeah.
And if McCullum says something to Praveen, "ठीक है बेटा, घबराओ मत, मैं कर लूँगा. Don't worry."
I was playing cricket when you were in diapers.
That's right.
There's not too many times a player can tell a coach that.
But Tambe wasn't. The funny thing is, Tambe actually started playing around the time McCullum's kids were in diapers. Right? Tambe started playing very late. But there you go, at 48, he's got a contract with KKR. I love it. These are the kind of stories I love.
I like the core of that side as well. If you look at the top 6 in that side, I think Praveen Tambe is a sentimental purchase.
Of course. Why not?
He'll keep bowling. You never know what happens. You look at the top 6, they've got Shubman Gill. Surely this is to be the year which is making of Shubman Gill. So Shubman Gill opens the batting. Rana can bat at 3. Morgan 4. Dinesh Karthik 5. Andre Russell 6. That is as strong batting as you can get. Now see what happens after that. They've got Kuldeep Yadav, one of Lockie Ferguson and Harry Gurney. Then they've got all those Indian bowlers, and then they've got Pat Cummins. So they'll play Pat Cummins, Lockie Ferguson, Andre Russell. Can they play Sunil Narayan? Morgan. So where does that leave Sunil Narayan? I'm just starting to think. So then maybe they play only one of Cummins, Ferguson, and who's the other? Gurney.
Yeah, I don't think
play one of those.
They can play only one of those.
One of those.
Because the other guy who's really going to knock very hard at playing in the first 11 is Tom Banton. He is a prospect. He's a serious prospect. He's one of the steals of the draft. And they really rate him really, really highly. So for them to have it, they have the core. I can tell you Tom Banton is one of the guys who they will be looking at a possible retention candidate with Shubman Gill. He's that kind of, even...
Yeah, but who do you drop? You're playing Pat Cummins. You're paying him that money, you're playing him.
See,
you're playing Morgan for
Firstly,
sure.
you're assuming that Sunil Narayan and Andre Russell are fit over 14 games.
Okay.
So Sunil's fingers always going to be something, we're work in progress. Andre's, they might even load manage him. Say that, okay, we're not going to play you all the games. And say, okay, I already have a good fast bowling all-rounder. Nobody can replace Andre Russell in that sense, but they will have to load manage him. But their top 11, as every year this is the story of KKR, their top 11 will take on anyone.
Yeah.
The question is, if they get injured, I think they've added a little more depth than they had last year.
Yeah, little
But
padding.
injuries, if they lose a couple of, say, Indian batsmen, they're going to struggle because their big story problem is really Indian batsmen. After Shubman and DK, maybe to a certain extent Nitish Rana, they don't look great there.
So, in case they can't play Sunil Narayan and they need spin, they've got Kuldeep Yadav, they've got a bit of Nitish Rana.
Yes.
Where's the next spinner? A bit of Varun Chakravarti, bit of Praveen Tambe, which really...
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
In your number one, this is a seam-dominated side.
Yeah, but it's also not a... You see, I mean, Eden Gardens is no longer that spin-friendly pitch as it was a few years ago. So, I think you're good with two spinners. If you have one, of that...
Yeah. I told you, they'll use Varun Chakravarti as a weapon. They'll throw him in one or two times, see if it works, pull him back again, not bother about it.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a regular player, But I think what they're going to do is that a lot of this depends on the form of the seam bowlers that they've invested in for a long time. Nagar Kotti, Mavi, Prasidh Krishna.
Yeah.
These three guys one of them has to stand up and say, I'm going to do a regular job for 4 overs for you. And somewhere that was the undoing of KKR also last year. That their inexperienced seam attack got hammered a bit.
Yeah.
They've got a young left arm spinner
Mani
in there
Maran
as well. Yeah, they've got a young left arm spinner in there as well.
Yeah. Value for Mani Maran.
So if Andre Russell plays 14 games, which will be a miracle, but if he can play 14 games, then you always look top 6, you've got a wicket keeper and you've got 4 overs, potentially 4 overs, if not 3, but you've got potentially 4 overs in your top 6. Then you can play 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So then you've got Cummins. You can play many other options. You don't want to play Sunil Narayan. You can have Banton at the top, Morgan, Russell, and Cummins.
Banton will give you something with the ball as well.
Yeah. Does he?
Does he? Yeah. Okay. That's a bit. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at the next team, which is the Rajasthan Royals. We have the Royals here. The Royals did a lot of buying today, in fact. Robbie Uthappa, Unadkat, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Anuj Rawat, Akash Singh, Karthik Tyagi, David Miller, O'Shane Thomas, Anirudh Joshi, Andrew Ty, Tom Curran. A lot of money.
But look, they did one smart thing which they had to do. What was the problem they were trying to solve? The problem they were trying to solve is every year for the last couple of years, they have the best top 4 foreign players because it's rare. You can't to beat Butler, Steve Smith, Jofra and Ben Stokes. They're a deadly combination, okay? So that leaves you with your Indian players. They've added potentially 3 Indian starters. Jaydev comes straight in, okay? Robbie Uthappa comes straight in.
Yeah.
Possibly Yashasvi Jaiswal, given the form he is, they might just...
Either him or Robin Uthappa.
No, I'm saying they could play both. Because look at their batting and you look at it and say, who are the other batsmen? Who are the other batsmen who will definitely play for India? Play for them? Sanju?
Yes.
Who are the batsmen?
Riyan Parag. So, take away the top 4, as you said. Take away the top 4. Can you find 7 Indian players in this list? Riyan Parag, Sanju Samson, Shreyas Gopal, Robin Uthappa, Jaydev Unadkat. Now they've got to find a couple of other bowlers, maybe one of the leg spinners.
Yep.
So they've got...
Rahul Tewatia?
Yeah, maybe they've Mayank Markande, who keeps getting traded but has found a home.
Yeah.
So they've got that kind, and they've got a lot of overseas backup because you can focus too much on these 4 and suddenly 2 of them are injured, as can happen. KKR last year, everybody was injured. Exactly. So that is why they've spent on Andrew Ty, Tom Curran, O'Shane Thomas, David Miller. You see, each one of them is a replacement. Something happens to Steve Smith. Can I play David Miller?
And they're all like for like. Yeah. They're all like for like.
Only thing is, if something happens to Butler, then they've got to find another Indian player in there.
No, keeper they have. Sanju Samson.
Sanju Samson will keep.
Yeah. They need a opening batter of that kind of pedigree where there's not really too many in world cricket who can tonk the ball like Jos Buttler can at the top. But you're right, they've covered a lot of bases.
Yeah, and covered a lot of bases. And I think, see,
and good don't be for money buying. What Rajasthan Royals used to do.
Yeah, and they said that they're going back to their roots, which is buying at good prices. The other thing is those 3, expect 2 of those 3 to play. they love their leg spin. They think on their big wide surfaces it's going to be difficult to tonk, cross wide boundaries. So Tewatia, Markandeya, Shreyas Gopal, two of these three will play regularly, at least in Rajasthan.
One issue though, we keep talking of Ben Stokes. Last year Ben Stokes was an NPA. He was not delivering.
Absolutely.
He was not delivering. So he's got to deliver this year big. Ben Stokes has to deliver big this year because there's too much riding on us. I mean, he's had a fabulous year in 2019 other than the IPL.
Yeah, he'll want to correct that. The 2020 IPL.
Yeah,
for sure.
he has no choice but to do that.
Kings 11.
Remember, he was coming off the year before that. He was, man of the match man of the tournament of the IPL.
Correct. Kings 11 Punjab have announced their captain. It's official now. KL Rahul will be captaining them. Of course, as you know, they traded their captain, Ravichandran Ashwin, to Delhi. So KL Rahul has been announced formally as captain. The other news, of course, is that Delhi has announced that don't worry, Ashwin is not captain. We're still going with our old captain. We're staying with Shreyas Iyer. So that formal announcement has been made as well, ending that speculation. A lot of buying for Kings 11 Punjab. Anil Kumble, very trigger happy, but some good buys there. There's Chris Jordan, big ones in Glenn Maxwell, Sheldon Cottrell, Deepak Hooda. I like the look of Deepak Hooda for sure. Ishan Porel, Ravi Bishnoi, the youngster Jimmy Neesham, Tajinder Singh Dhillon, and Prabh Simran Singh. It's looking good, huh?
Yeah, now they were very keen to get Chris Jordan, as you can see. So Jordan, Cottrell, one of them, they've got the fast bowler. Yeah. What's the bowling? Mujibur Rahman, Mohammad Shami. I hope Shami can play as all those games. Yeah. They've got a decent spin core. They've got Krishnappa Gautam. Yeah. Suchit will come and play the odd game here and there. Where is their in-between player? That 6-7. I don't know if there's enough room for James Neesham. There's always going to be a question mark of how much Chris Gayle is going to play. If Gayle can give them 14 matches, wow. So.
But if Gayle can't, then your foreign core, look at your foreign core.
You got Nicholas Puran who will play. He's a fantastic player.
You probably will have Puran, Maxwell, Cottrell definitely playing.
Yes. Maybe Jordan as well.
And then you have Jordan, maybe Mujib.
Mujib. So he'll play Puran, Mujib, Maxwell, one of Jordan and Cottrell.
Yeah.
Puran and Maxwell definitely make it into the team, into every 11.
But can you imagine if both of them are going after KL Rahul and Mandeep Singh after KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal have batted? So there's a lot of firepower again in that side. The question is, can Kings play like the Team 11 suggests they should? The only time they did was 2014 when George Bailey was captain. Yeah. And they just went hell for leather. They played a different form of T20 cricket. They were the most thrilling team to watch. Will they go back and do that? It'll be interesting.
They reached the finals, and in 1 year, that team self-destructed. It was a superb team. That one team, they won 5 straight at Dubai. Of course, Maxwell loves playing on those surfaces. But they came back and they were pretty good as well. Somewhere after that year, they lost their entire team, and then it sort of started coming apart at the seams. Kumble is a strong man. Kumble is a man with a very strong opinion, and he won't be afraid to tell the team exactly how it is. I think he's also got a point to prove. Okay, I think this will be an interesting year for them because he's definitely going to provide strong leadership and very.
Yeah,
it's not going to waver.
Kumble is a sort of long-term thinker.
Absolutely.
And Kings 11 is not known to be a long-term thinking franchise. Yeah. So if they tell Kumble, look, we'll stay out of the cricket side of the game. Yeah. We'll give you 3-4 years. I can see that franchise developing. But
that's not going to happen.
That was straight dumb.
I'm sorry. That was just really funny for a team that's got more coaches and captains than people have squads. Yeah. I mean, look at that.
Last few years. So they need stability.
They definitely need stability, and Anil Kumble is the guy to give them stability. But they've got to understand that, right? It's almost like you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink the water, right? True. So that's what they got to do. What helps Anil Kumble is that Anil Kumble is a strong personality. I feel it works for him that KL Rahul is a gentler, calmer personality. So that way they will work together.
Yeah, they will.
Because you can't have two sort of battering rams at each other. Right, that's not worked out. We've seen that without mincing any words. We've seen that with Indian cricket. It's not worked. But for Kumble to have, for Anil to have KL Rahul as a captain, I feel like this is something. If they persist with for a few years, it could work.
I think the story of Kings 11 though has to be the players, not Kumble.
Yeah,
because the players are going to win. But I look at that Kings 11 side, and I don't think there's a weak side. Sometimes Kings 11 can come through as a weak side. I don't think there's a weak side in this year's IPL after this auction.
My point is, after looking at it, definitely compared to all the other years you've seen, in the last couple of years, after this, basically the budget has been redressed, that all the teams have money. Which of these teams is a weak side?
No,
you can't look at one of them and say that,
comes back
this is, Yeah.
It comes back to leadership, Joy.
Yeah.
It comes back to leadership, it comes back to direction, it comes back to how are the players feeling. Are they thinking, wow, this is the team I want to play
Yeah,
for?
but just
it
to
comes
answer
down to all
Kings
these
11,
old-fashioned things.
if you're saying of two people, right, it shouldn't become Kumble, it should be Kumble and Rahul's team, just like CSK is Fleming and Dhoni's team.
Yes.
Right? You know that they're working in tandem.
Can I go even further than that?
Yeah.
CSK is Dhoni's team.
Fair enough, yes.
Okay. This can be Kumble's team because there are basically three types of teams. The third is the rarest and toughest to manage, which is what you call the owner's team, which Kings 11 has been in the past to disastrous results. You can have an owner's team, you can have a coach's team, or you can have a captain's team.
So it's interesting. The one team that seems to have managed it well is Mumbai Indians. Mumbai Indians is in many respects an owner's team, and yet the playing side has been looked after quite well.
No, they've done that well.
Yeah.
I say they've done that well, just like Indian cricket with all the trouble of COA, old members, board members. They never allowed Indian cricket to suffer. And I think it's the same. Whatever else is happening with Mumbai Indians.
That is a debate for another day, Mr. Bhattacharjya.
I see in your debate, by the way, you move so sideways, you're almost seeing the back of your head. By the way.
What can I do?
Yeah.
I just
Sometimes I have to do traffic management over here also. Please move side, little bit, little. But in traffic management, what I have to do right now is, no, this way. You can leave. It's over now. Show's over. Everybody, you can also leave. Don't stop. Go. Everybody must go. I also must go. No, it's almost over. We've got a couple of minutes left. Few final thoughts before we wrap up on this amazing day. The auction day is actually one of the most exciting days in the IPL. It's not even connected to the tournament. It's 3-4 months before the tournament, but it's always so much excitement because the story actually begins from today. And the main thing we've picked up today is that all these teams are actually super strong going into the season, but of course have that task of picking that 11, that balanced 11. It's there. The pieces are all there. Can you put together a coherent jigsaw puzzle?
One other factor that I think we must bear in mind. Last year, 2019 IPL was a World Cup year. A lot of teams lost key players. If you remember, Rajasthan Royals lost all their overseas players. And suddenly you said, oh, okay, is that Rajasthan Royals? This year, almost everybody is available right till the end. We're talking most probably March 28 to May 24. So it's a longer IPL.
Yes.
Most days there's only one game a day. The odd Sunday there'll be a double header. So the tournament gets stretched out a little longer, which is a bigger logistical headache, but more time to recover between games, and all players available till the end.
Yes.
So teams, you don't have to start worrying about, if I lose this player, who am I going to get?
Yeah.
So that is a plus, in that teams will be at full strength for a major part of the...
because last year they were thinking like that, because when the auction happened, they knew which players they were going to lose when.
They had to keep that in mind.
Every board had announced, and that's why they were buying accordingly. But this year, of course, there is no problem. Every player that you see over here is available right throughout. A longer tournament this time, but that just means, well, more days of cricket.
I mean, the other thing, there's no Pakistan for political reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed. Sri Lanka, Malinga remains the only Sri Lankan player. I thought Isuru Udana has been picked. Good call. Isuru Udana. I thought Kusal Pereira, you know, on a place like where RCB plays.
He's a darn useful player.
Useful player. I would have thought that on some of the slower grounds, the Fizz would have got a go.
Yeah.
His numbers in the last 6 months haven't been great, but we know his capacity. And that Mushfiqur Rahim is a good player, you know.
Yes.
I'm just surprised nobody looks at those players, because these are Asian players who know these conditions well and who've done well in these conditions. And Mushfiqur Rahim's record in India is awesome. So I'm just a little surprised by that.
In fact, with the Fizz, I think the auctioneer also called him Raman, so that CSK would sort of pick him up. They did call him, right? One of them was Raman.
It is a bit like me doing a South American football auction.
No, but Harsha, in your defense, if you did a South American football auction, you'd spend 3 days practicing and getting every name right.
No, you know what I would do? I would actually, not just 3 days, I would go 3 months before to Brazil, right? Preferably to read. For research.
Oh, God.
Just shoot a calendar on the side.
No, just stay there, just observe, mingle with the locals, spend some time at Copacabana.
Yeah, cocktails with umbrellas in them.
For research. Anything for the job. Commitment. I never question it.
Commitment.
Never.
I've always thought I'm in the wrong business. I spent too much time studying cricket.
So much fun. So much fun to study on the Copacabana beach. All right. We've got something for you guys to do as well. Are we giving an exercise, homework? Sir, you want to give some homework? Today you didn't give joy factor.
I don't know.
Choose your best 11. All right. You can choose your best 11 from the players, of course, the final squad. And you can send it to us. There it is. It's on the ticker now, so I can just read it. From final squads using hashtag CricBuzzLive. So tweet that into us. That's the only homework we'll give you today. And before going, we'll give you the joy. I've got a joy factor. You want to give a joy factor
No,
question?
I don't
Sir,
have
kuch
a-
to de do, sir.
I have
Something.
no idea.
Anything. Just make up, sir. Something.
No, I have to think.
Who was the first player ever to go under the hammer on an IPL auction?
I've actually had an argument with this on this because I
It's always a story.
I
You know
remember
that. You know, I love the way.
I remember a particular
I
player.
love the way he just tosses a little pebble and it emerges, comes back with a story.
Yeah. Sir, I throw a pebble thinking there'll be a little ripple, but a Loch Ness monster comes out.
Yeah, like lots.
Ah!
Go on,
Tell
the
us,
story.
sir, please.
No. So I remember as a particular player, and the auctioneer Richard Mantley remembers it as a separate player. And the reason nobody can check was that was the first one, and it wasn't televised. So the auctioneer also had a list of players, but they came out in a different order, I think.
Yeah.
So the first name on his list is Shane Warne, but I don't think Shane Warne was the first name that came out.
No.
What do you think?
No, because if you remember Shane Warne, everyone went around, nobody was buying Shane
It
Warne.
went for 400 in the end.
Yeah,
If
nobody
first-
was buying, and then
Rajasthan.
Lalit Modi signaled to Rajasthan Royals saying, buy him.
Oh, yeah?
They bought Shane Warne, made him captain, history got
But you were there in the room. It
No,
wasn't
I wasn't
Shane-
in the room. I wasn't in the room.
It wasn't Shane Warne. I think it's Shoaib Akhtar. And I remember again it went around. It went round, and suddenly we were not supposed to even touch Shoaib Akhtar. We were looking at other players, and there are lots of options at that time. Shoaib was probably going to be banned also at that point in time. And right then, suddenly Shoaib said, "Let's take him." And it was exactly the reason they took him is exactly the reason that Chris Lynn said he wants to play for Mumbai. Because if you have
Naughty.
Shoaib Akhtar in your team, you don't have to play him.
Naughty.
He was a smart man.
Nothing
He's smart.
right.
He's
Smart.
man.
That's
Chris Lynn did
pretty
the same thing. Why play against Jasprit Bumrah?
You want any more joy factor question? More stories will emerge.
I've got a question for you. Who bowled the first ball of the 1987 Reliance Cup in India? The Sri Lankan bowler. Just suddenly came back to me.
Sri Lankan bowler, 1987.
Was it India?
Ravi Ratnayake.
Was it India, Australia the first
Ramesh
game?
Ratnayake. Ramesh Ratnayake, Ravi
no.
Ratnayake, can't be Chamindawaz. It has, is that Pramodya Vikramasinghe? Not Pramodya Vikramasinghe.
Professor Joy, stumped out.
Wait. Who was the fast bowlers that time? Not Ravi, not Ramesh.
1987.
Not Vikram.
So we have time for.
Okay, you win.
And
It will give the answer.
with this hanging on the edge. Did I tell you? His name begins with V.
Vinod and John.
That's right. Correct answer.
That slow left arm bowler who made Chamindawaz look fast.
Vinod and John.
Yes.
The winner of the quiz,
Well done.
Mr. Harsha.
Well done.
No, the moment, what's wrong with you? The moment you said V, it had to be.
Having a laughing fit. Oh God.
If you hadn't said V, there's no way you would have got it. If you say V, it has
But
to
you
be.
got it. I gave you a clue. It came down from 10 points to 5 points. Normal.
There are
racing
a
bowls,
couple of
guys.
Sri
You're
Lankan
not
bowlers
normal.
that you always remember. Vinod and John is one. Eric Upashanta is another. You remember them because for various reasons, whatever. Don't chuck a pebble my way because people are saying, aren't these guys going to stop talking?
But it's okay because people love hearing the stories, and if they don't want to, of course, they can just put it on like airplane mode or something.
About 5 minutes ago, he's about to close the program and he just chucked a pebble at Joy and a flower came out of there. Story came from there.
Beautiful. Can I chuck a pebble at you also?
No, I don't have the stories. You have to tell me which
I don't even
alphabet.
have a pebble actually. But of course, Mr. Bhogle has a lot of stories which he will continue telling on Cricbuzz. So you will be around, of course, to catch him, to catch Joy. I will be here as well. We will be here, of course, on the 22nd, which is talking about the last ODI. It's an important one. Yeah, it's an important one. It's a series decider. It's a clincher. Who's winning that one? Quickly.
India.
Team batting. No. I was going to say team batting first or team batting second. India to bologe hi aap log.
Team batting second.
Team batting second. It's chasing team.
Always
What do you say?
team batting second. The team batting first will pop out, get on all the boats there on the Bali Yatra and go to Indonesia.
I'm not going to dispute that.
No?
Cuttack is a dodgy pitch.
It's a dodgy pitch.
I mean, there's so much dew after 8 o'clock, you can collect it in glasses.
Yeah. And cheers.
Yeah.
Talking about glasses, it's 9:45. I'm Punjabi. You know what the score is. All right, it's time to go. Big thank you to Joy Bhattacharjya and Harsha Bhogle. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thanks to all of you for joining us through the day today. It is super fun as usual on Cricbuzz. So thank you. It's only made better by you. So thank you so much for being here. I'm Gaurav Kapur on behalf of our entire crew. It is goodbye. We'll see you on the 22nd.